One of the most searched things about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is what is wrong with his abs. And people are talking about not seeing his six-pack even though he has so much muscle and looks insane. So why is it that for some people we don't see abs?
There are so many articles about this. I need to find out where The Rock's abs are. So I invited my doctor. Where's abs?
Wait, he doesn't have abs?
The Rock doesn't have enough abs. Why does Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson have no visible six-pack abs? And then you see this photo a lot.
We need to find out.
He is a real doctor. He's not gonna wear the doctor outfit the entire time.
It's my day off, actually, so
I'm making you work on your day off.
Yeah, but The Rock doesn't have abs, dude.
We need to find out. It's also Googled a lot.
What is the deal with The Rock's flabby tummy? No. What is the deal with The Rock's ass?
What's wrong with...
What's wrong with The Rock's ass?
That's a personal attack.
There's nothing wrong with it. No, here's the thing.
Oh, God.
I think because on Instagram, all these Instagram fitness models have these incredible 6, 8, 12, 24 packs.
24? Yo!
He has a point there. People always compare to the best of the best on Instagram and the perfect lighting. Do you know how many followers he has on Instagram?
Let me guess.
Take a guess.
20 mil.
20 million?
20 mil.
Is that your guess?
That's my guess, dude. I know.
What do you mean? 395 million followers. Like, he looks good on Instagram, but he does a lot of talking. It's like super raw, right? Compare that to these perfect Instagram models. He has a good point there. The Rock has an explanation for his abs.
I tore in a wrestling match, and then what that did, that caused a chain reaction, and it tore my abdomen wall. I had to do a triple hernia emergency surgery of a tear, and a tear.
Now they look pretty messed up.
Dude, she's ruthless.
She's ruthless. She's roasting him.
You look messed up.
I had to do a triple hernia emergency surgery.
That is interesting that he had triple emergency hernia operation.
Hernia, you can only have that in your back, right?
No, my friend, let me explain. Your abs have also another function next to the other ones, which we'll talk about in a second.
Looking good. Just looking good.
Looking good.
That's the only...
Looking hella good. It's actually responsible for building up intra-abdominal pressure. So it's quite a functional muscle. Actually, it's four layers of muscle. You can see them here. Is you have your rectus abdominis, which sounds like a dinosaur. And then it's followed by the external oblique. And then you have the internal oblique. The last one is the transversus abdominis, which is responsible for that building pressure, which protects your organs also, but also protects your lower back. And what happened with him is sometimes you build up so much pressure during one of these movements that a weakness appears in the abdominal wall. So you get like a weak spot because of the pressure. You might even get a hole, which will lead to your intestines bulging out.
And that's called a hernia.
That's called a hernia. And this can be very dangerous.
This sounds so painful. And that's probably why The Rock also said emergency.
Exactly. It's 100% an emergency. It needs to be operated. As you can see here, most of us don't have a six-pack. We have an eight-pack. Well, why do you think it's not visible?
Fat.
It's correct. Holy shit.
Your fat percentage is probably too high to see the abs, the actual muscle underneath.
And so the last two abs are often, even when you're shredded, still covered by a layer of fat. So here you can definitely see the eight-pack. Rectus abdominis, the dinosaur, is one long muscle sheet.
All the way here.
Right, exactly, all the way there. You see these tendinous intersections? They're responsible for that six-pack shape.
Where exactly these tendons attach is what you are born with, because you can't really change that, except through surgery, maybe.
Surgery can have impact. All right, so how do you actually fix a problem like the hernia? There are two types of operations we can do. Go to that hole and you cut it up even more so you can push the intestines back in, and then you sew it back together. The other option is a more modern approach to it, is you make different holes in the stomach, very tiny ones. You go in with cameras, and then this is assuming that the intestines isn't out too much, and then you can push it back with your fingers. Then you go in with the cameras, and what you then do is you place a sheet over the hole from the inside. This is called a mesh. And you can compare it a little bit to like pirate ships when they have a hole in it. So they grab another like plank of wood and put it against it, tick, 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 problem solved. The recovery from this can cause some problems, and he's not entirely wrong. During the first few weeks, your abs are actually not good at contracting. But another thing that happens that does have impact on the aesthetics of the ab is you can get some scar tissue.
So is that what's up with The Rock's abs? Is it the surgeries, or is it genetics, or is it fat percentage?
I think it's a little bit more nuanced. I kind of want to hear what other people say before I give my Opinion.
No, it's not. The real reason The Rock has no abs.
The Rock had torn his abs and his leg muscle in a wrestling match, something to that extent, and that's why he doesn't have abs. It's not really true. It might be partially true, a small part.
I'm very curious to where he goes with this.
Is he on the right track?
He's on the right track.
Just look at his father. It's in his genetics.
That guy looks better than The Rock.
That's his father. He is a WWE star as well.
Really?
Yeah, that's how he got into WWE.
Oh, I never knew that.
If you don't have great genetics, your abs are not going to look as impressive as someone else who does. But if you are lean enough, you will in fact see your abs. Also, The Rock doesn't really know how to flex them properly. Flexes the chest, the upper body, the arm.
He does this instead of this.
Yo, that's actually the function of the abs, just leaning forward like that. So doing this actually relaxes the abs.
And so because he doesn't have amazing genetics and is not quite lean enough, his abs, they just don't look up to par with all the models on Instagram.
His dad here is like a 16 to 18% body fat and then having some really good ab definition here without flexing them. This man looks phenomenal even without flexing the abs. But imagine if he would have flexed, like, you can see.
I can see it. He has an 8-pack.
He has an 8-pack, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, his genetics are amazing. It's just regarding the abs genetics. Like again, guys, don't feel bad. His genetics are insane.
Yeah.
And yes, the ab injury can in fact add to this, but that is not it. There's also other reasons that I want to add to because no one seems to talk about this. Age. He's almost 50 years old, and as you age, your abs don't look as good as when you're younger.
Wait, why?
Well, I think he's gonna say because of the aging of the muscle, the aging of the skin, so it will be a bit more flabby.
Yeah, as you get older, the skin does get less elastic.
When I was in my 20s, my abs were by far my strongest body part. They aren't anymore.
I mean, he's literally changing his pose.
He probably gets that on Instagram. If he posts an ab picture at this moment, people will probably like it less than when they compare it to another Instagram model.
Steroids and growth hormone. When you abuse PEDS, it's going to have an impact on how your abdominals look. Phil Heath, for example. Look at him when he was an amateur versus him in his later years when winning the Mr. Olympia multiple times.
This is actually a good reason also.
Arnold has, in my opinion, one of the best physiques ever. It's crazy, but also not the best abs ever. And that's not because he didn't work hard enough, because he literally had the perfect physique. It's just genetics.
It's genetically determined.
He couldn't really do anything about it, and The Rock kind of had the same thing, because if we go to, this is not his best picture, he's not flexing, doesn't really count. This was more recent, and this is decent lighting, with a pump. You can actually see some abs here. He's got big abs as well, by the way. These muscles, these are big muscles.
But here's the main point. So what? It's one body part.
It looks like the skin is being pulled towards each other,
Yeah.
which is indicative of scar tissue.
Yeah.
That's definitely something that could be going on.
But he made another video.
Really? Another one?
The Rock never even used to have abs. Even when he was in his younger years, never had a six-pack. But now at 52, he suddenly found the answer.
Wait, that would be literally against everything you just said about the age thing.
Or he had surgery. Ab implants.
So back-to-back training camps from pro wrestling to MMA, and we start shooting in a couple of weeks, and I cannot wait.
His abs are looking good there, though. Also through
looks
the shirt.
amazing.
Why does he have abs now? Explain to me.
So I don't
I
think...
need to know, bro.
Baby, calm down, huh? Let me explain. It's not really the surgeries. The only thing the surgeries will do is maybe slightly make some adjustments to the symmetry. Then we have the genetic thing. Now, yeah, genetics play a role, but they play a role in the third reason, which is the fat distribution of the body. He has quite good ab genetics, but his fat distribution isn't that great when it comes to his abs.
So he needs to get more shredded. And I kind of get that he doesn't want to get more shredded because working on set for months, being at a super low body fat percentage is really hell. That's what's up with The Rock's abs. It never crossed my mind that The Rock doesn't have six-pack abs. And honestly, with his physique, it doesn't matter. I 100% agree on that. It's actually kind of his trademark. His physique the way it is right now, like bulky but shredded arms and still some veins.
Man, we're talking about a lot of muscle over here, huh?
But in the last episode, we talked about people that don't have a lot of muscle but are extremely strong and how you can train for that. Make sure to click there if you want to check that out. Make sure to subscribe to this link and hit that bell, and we'll see you in the next episode. We also have a free workout app, by the way, so click link in the description.